Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is on the topic of the Portugal Golden Visa. Just a few weeks ago, on the 12th of March, Portugal's Prime Minister stepped down, and with another round of elections just around the corner, many investors are left asking what happens to the Golden Visa? Will it continue? Could we see further restrictions, or perhaps could we even see a phase out of the program altogether? In this video, I'll walk you through the political landscape in Portugal, the likely election outcomes, and what those scenarios might mean for the future of the Golden Visa scheme. If the Portugal Golden Visa has been on your radar, it's worth staying tuned. I'll also cover realistic timelines for any potential changes based on similar reforms that have played out in the past. But before we do begin, just by way of brief introduction, I'm Nial. I'm an investment advisor based here in the UAE, working with high net worth clients globally on a range of financial matters. A growing theme in my work has been global mobility amongst my clients. So over the last 5 years, I've specialized in citizenship and residency by investment programs. In that time, helping more than 35 families secure alternative residency schemes or second citizenships, with over 20 million invested across various programs. So what's happened in Portugal? Well, just 2 weeks ago, the government collapsed after Prime Minister Montenegro lost a vote of confidence. That's now triggered a snap election, which is scheduled for the 18th of May. This will be Portugal's third election in as many years, and understandably, I've been contacted by a number of clients, both existing investors and those who have considered applying, really wanting to understand what this could mean for the longer term outlook of the Golden Visa. The way I view it is a sensible way to approach this is by looking at the political landscape in Portugal, which should give us a bit of an indication of what might lie ahead. Now, full disclosure, I'm not a political analyst, certainly not in Portugal, but this is my considered view based on the research I've done over the last couple of weeks. There are two main political groupings. You have the centre-right Democratic Alliance, which formed the most recent minority government, and then you have the centre-left Socialist Party, also known as the PS. Recent polling suggests both are neck and neck amongst the electorate, sitting at around 20%. A further 40% of voters remain completely undecided, with the remainder split across a range of far left and far right parties. What that means in practical terms is that neither bloc is likely to secure a majority, so any government formed may well depend on building a coalition. And if we see coalition talks fail, we can see yet another minority government similar to the one that just collapsed a few weeks ago. Just understanding what a minority government would mean for the Golden Visa, quite simply, if no party is able to command a clear majority, then passing new legislation becomes extremely difficult. That kind of gridlock tends to result in a status quo for the program. And in other words, the Golden Visa would likely remain in place in its current form by default. Just stress testing the various scenarios and looking at the most pessimistic one. If the Socialist Party joins forces with the far left, parties such as the Left Bloc or the Communists, for instance, and they manage to secure enough support to form a government, the Golden Visa at that point could very well come under a lot of pressure. Whether or not it would be an immediate priority for a newly formed government is another matter, but it's not unthinkable to say that they would seek to close the programme as one of their priorities. In the event of that newly formed government making it priority number one to close the scheme, they wouldn't be able to do so overnight. Portugal's legislative process takes a lot of time, and major reforms typically include transition periods. To draw on the most recent example, when Portugal closed down the real estate investment option from the list of eligible investments back in 2023, it took around 6 months from when the government announced the change to the change being implemented. So in that event, the very earliest I envisage the scheme coming to a close is at the end of the year, assuming a new government is formed in June. If the scheme did close, it wouldn't affect existing applicants. Portugal has a very long-standing practice of grandfathering in those who have already applied. So if you were to submit your application before any new laws introduced, you would proceed under the current rules. Taking everything into consideration, I believe the golden visa is likely to remain in its current form over the short to medium term. However, if you have been considering applying, I would encourage you to act sooner rather than later, while the program is still available under its current framework before the election introduces any potential changes. And just despite the political noise, Portugal continues to offer the most attractive residency program in the world. It remains the only scheme in Europe that can lead to a passport without the need to become a tax resident, and the scheme is underpinned by strong legal protections for the foreign investors, backed by EU law. And in my view, the fundamentals are still there for the golden visa to have a very strong 2025, just like we've seen in previous years. That's it from me. If you found this video useful, feel free to like and subscribe for any more updates on global investment and residency by investment trends. And if you'd like to understand a bit more about how this particular situation might apply to you, do send me a message. My contact details will be in the description below and also in the box on this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.